What's up, Boss Dons? Curtis Dondino, and today we're back with another week in fashion. So if you're new to the channel, is this your first time checking out this video, it's basically where I just talk about some cool stuff that I came across. I believe Milan Fashion Week was recently, so a lot of collections have been showing, and some stuff that I might have came across on social media, I gotta share with you guys. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Here I do unboxings, a little fashion commentary, give my opinion. You know, every now and then you might get a vlog, talk about behind the scenes of my brand. But to kind of just jump right in, I want to start with this brand that I have never actually heard of. They're called Egoni Labs, or Egoni Labs. And in short, they showed their Fall Winter 23 collection, and you can tell right off the bat that it's just like a very punk inspired collection. And I believe it was called like let me see, it's somewhere on the page. But whatever the case is, the collection was really dope. I want to put some stuff up on the screen, and I want to show you guys some of their pieces, right? One of my favorite things right off the bat is this fur and this leather chaps. Like, this is that's a crazy look. And if you look, there's little details, like the guy on the left has like a garter, a denim garter. Like, I don't want to say this, but like, I wish I thought of that. Let me just say that. Actually, I did think of that. But you can see they use a lot of like cool patterns. It doesn't really have like anything that kind of like defines the kind of brand it is, like, because this is my first time seeing it. But what I can tell is they have like a very punk spirit. It almost reminds me of, I believe, Tom Ford at Pharrell. I think that's the brand he was at before he went to Gucci. Oh, these pants are crazy. Look at the pants on the right with the appliques into the denim, if that's what you can call it. I see a lot of mohair on the runway. Mohair is crazy right now. The suit with the chaps with the belt underneath the garments, that's crazy. So I just think this was a crazy brand, honestly. And so, even though I've never seen that brand before, and even though they didn't have like the craziest pieces or anything like that, I really liked some of those simple things. Like, that's a brand where like I can tell they'll always have super great details. Like, it'll be a pair of denim jeans, but something so tough on them that you never thought about before. Kind of like Y Project. Now, next, I'm not going to post anything because... but Fill Pieces dropped the collection. Some pretty basic dope stuff. You might want to check that out if you need some basics. I usually like a lot of stuff from that brand. Also, I want to talk about Drake, right? And his new video for Jumbotron popping. When I tell you, it was so nostalgic seeing all of Pharrell's jewelry. Like, growing up as like a very different kid, you know, Kanye, Pharrell, Andre 3 Stacks, those were like the guys you kind of like, it's like, oh my god, I can see a lot of myself in him. In short, in this video, he wears, because I don't know if y'all know, but recently, I don't know if it was with Sotheby's, but I do know that Pharrell recently auctioned off a lot of his jewelry, and I believe they said Drake had on $3.3 million worth of it. He had on the white diamond brain pendant, I think the skateboard pendant, and let me see, what else did he have on? Oh, and the nerd pendant chain. And I think altogether that stuff was worth like $3.3 million. That's some big dog stuff. I also seen he had some Homer on, like, which is Frank Ocean's jewelry brand. Frank Ocean does the lab diamonds, where the diamond seed is basically grown into a diamond. I don't know science, but yeah. And in other news, okay, here's my thing, right? I get so confused sometimes when brands now offer like, or now have sister brands. So Vetements has a brand called like Vetements, but like instead of it being, it's like they took all the syllables out. So it's basically like VTMNTS, and it's like their sister brand. It's more like their MK by Michael Kors, Mark by Marc Jacobs. But what you see with a lot of the higher tier brands, they know that when you kind of like knock off yourself, you end up just in yourself over because you kill exclusivity, etc., etc. But I can see why a brand like this would do something like this, because they have so much outlandish stuff. But this is such a fraternal set of twin sisters, you know what I'm saying? Because we know Vetements for being so outlandish, you know, but it's like this everything was so simple. Everything was so unisex, which is a good thing. But everything was just so simple. It's like I could just scroll through so fast because it's really not much for you to see. I'm sure all of the pieces are quality pieces, but I'm also sure that you could probably get this stuff from somewhere else. And I think that in the world now where everything's so saturated and people want to make like 90,000 pieces of content and they need like 100,000 pieces of clothes, you gotta make sure you're dropping stuff, in my opinion, that is either like, you know, I don't know, especially from the big brands, because they have like super huge budgets to reach all types of people. My opinion. Okay, so next up we have an emerging brand called Silpa. Hope that's how you pronounce it. It's from Manchester, I believe. Let me tell you what's very interesting about this brand. One of my favorite things to witness always are brands that really take note with like minute details, because when you're I don't know their history or anything, right? But assuming that it's a brand that maybe, you know, hasn't been around too long or hasn't gained like a super amount of notoriety, and not in a negative way at all. I'm just saying, like, you know, a brand that isn't like a, you know, super well-known brand. Even though I do want to shout them out for having WizKid and that stuff. That's super tough goals, right? I just want to say I love when smaller brands take so much interest in details, because like in a world now where everyone has a brand, logo mania is like the easiest way to enter the market, because people love logos, people love recognition. That's why we buy stuff, that's why we spend our money. It's the exchange of value, right? But whenever you have a small brand that takes the time to focus on details that people may not know them specifically for, that's tough to me. All right, so starting off, we have this really dope coat. I really like this coat. Love the way it's styled. Everything. You can see they have like a lot of Asian influence. Just in like a lot of like the hats and styling and stuff. This denim jacket set right here is everything, right? But when you look at the denim up close, boy, that is crazy. You can't tell me that's not crazy. Oh, I do those kind of strings. But yeah, this is crazy. Loved it. Like this is my type of fly. You know, it's thoughtful, and I love clothes that are thoughtful. Okay, so a couple of things. First off, Giorgio Armani dropped a collection during Milan Fashion Week as well. And I just want to say, I know I'm not their target audience, but boring clothes are boring clothes. You know what I'm saying? At some point, when, like, why do we need 1,000 blue jackets and suits? They literally had one interesting thing, and it was this hoodie, and it had that, like, mink fur type of print, but it kind of looked geometric. I thought that was cool. I'll put that up on the screen. I also want to talk about Missoni. They dropped the collection. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing that right, because y'all being peoples about the pronunciation. But honestly, to me, it just kind of looked like Marni Light. And I know that Missoni has always been about knitwear, and I don't know the history of the brand, and I don't know much about it. I just know that it's a, you know, notable brand. Even though sometimes when I was younger, I was kind of confused with Massimo. I think that's like a Target brand. But nonetheless, I thought, like, I mean, it was just like mohair and like watercolor stripes, and it's just like, I don't know if y'all ever seen, but like Lil Baby had on like the watercolor like striped pants. And when I just say, like, everybody was, it was a video, and he was like walking, and like people, men were literally shaming him for the pants. Like, this is what men have come to. If I could find the video, I'll put it up when I'm editing. Okay, so next we gotta talk about Jimin being announced. Jimin from BTS being announced as the creative director of, or not creative director, I'm sorry. Whoa, that would have been crazy though. But the global ambassador for Dior. I do know that BTS always used to be in Louis Vuitton, so I'm not sure if they had like a deal with them, but if they did, it must be over, because now they with Dior. But I just want to say that I love when like younger people are tied to a brand like Dior, because I love Dior. I love Dior for the same reason I love Chanel. C's, right? It's like Curtis don't do no CD. My thing is, right, or the thing I want to talk about is that, like, when you tie, like, we know that a lot of this is about promotion, but when you're keeping younger people in mind, the clothes have a younger spirit. And I'm just like trying to abolish a lot of classic dressing and just make everybody, because I feel like we need a lot of different identity. And I feel like when all the brands kind of stick to like one voice, it kind of You know, it's like the fashion, like the trickle down. I wish Ty was here because she know. But she was telling me it's like the trickle down effect with fashion. And in short, if Dior is doing youthful clothing, then so will a lot of the brands that fall underneath their helm. And next we have another brand called Jonte Kim, right? And I've never heard of this brand either, but what makes this brand so tough is that right off the like right off of first glance, I'm like, yo, this is probably the hardest bomber I've ever seen. So if you can say that the first time you've seen a brand, it instantly sells you into this brand. I've never seen a bomber jacket this hard in my life. Like the leather jacket with the like spike fringe, tough. Like look at the details on these leather pants. I've never seen anything like that before. Like, and whenever I feel like something looks like original, like of course you can see what influences are, but to just see something different. And then I'm seeing a lot of like fluidity in like the clothing. Like, is this a women's jacket? Is this a men's jacket? It looks masculine, but I see feminine notes. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, I feel like gets you very far. Yo, like look at this. I would wear this right now. Not the shirt, not the shoes, but that jacket and those pants. That's tough. That's good money right there. Okay, then this is tough. Oh my gosh, the white bomber. This is a see, and I love putting y'all on brand. So if I never told y'all anything, look what I just taught you. Okay, so BearBrick has teamed up with Uniqlo's, I believe is the creative director or the graphic designer for the brand. And basically they made a BearBrick filled with shredded ones. Ain't that hard? I thought that was so tough. So basically they're dropping it with a lottery, and to me that's fine, but I just don't like lotteries. Like, please just let me log on and buy it. And I get that they sell out and I get that people resell them, but it actually only retails for $173, and it's just like, sheesh, I wish I could purchase this, especially because this one fits my aesthetic and like some stuff that like I would like. So while Fendi and Tiffany's are having all the fun, it's like that SpongeBob meme where like SpongeBob and Patrick running outside and Squidward in the house watching. I feel like their Fall Winter 23 show was probably the most boring show I've ever seen from Fendi, like ever. One, I thought it was all menswear, and it's nothing wrong with androgyny, and I don't think everything got to be like skin revealing or sex stuff, but it's just the silhouettes, everything was boring. I literally like two things. Because knitwear is in right now, you know, everyone's doing their take on knitwear, and I feel like these two small notes should have been the bigger focus of the whole collection. They did a like mohair sweater that's see-through. That right there, that's tough to me. That's different, that's new, it's fresh, it's a fresh take on something that's trendy. And then they did like, I don't really know what fabric it is, but it almost looks like a shearling, but it looks like a denim jacket. That, like those right there are genius ideas. In other news, Telfar is dropping 17, well, one wallet, but in 17 colors. I think the promo video, it just popped up on my Instagram, and what I saw from it was a really tough video, but I noticed that like the design is almost like a circle. I mean, as you can see, it's like a circle, but when you open it up, you got space for all your cards and your money. It looks like you can fit a lot in it. The design looks smart. The zipper detail was tough. I was very surprised that the item is being offered at $144, and well, that's not the surprising part. That's the good part. The surprising part, because a brand is notable as Telfar with anything for $144 that you could use on a daily basis. That's not like a paperclip, but I know their whole goal is accessibility. But the point I'm trying to make is they're doing this product in genuine leather, and I know that Telfar is usually like a vegan, or they lean toward vegan, but I think it's really hard to make something durable in like the vegan leather materials. And I hear a lot of people even complaining about their bags, but it's like, you got to keep in mind this isn't genuine leather, so it won't have that durability. You got to protect it a little bit more. Alright, so next we got to talk about Matthew Williamson. Ain't that his name? At Alyx? Okay, so Alyx. So when I first was thinking about like whether I base stuff like if I'm gonna screen record or not, like that's how many things they have that look interesting. Do I have a whole video to show, or do I just need to show you two pictures? I'm like, oh shit, they got some stuff. First off, the leather cargo was crazy. Love those. I kind of designed some, but they didn't look this tough. I ain't gonna lie. That hoodie was tough too. I like a lot of graphic stuff. I like stuff that I could wear. I know I'm gonna get a lot of wears out of, because a lot of runway stuff I like usually is so odd or different. I think like, oh, I would wear that if I could afford it. There or there or there. But this type of stuff I could wear every day. And also, I've never seen denim jeans under like track suit with shorts. That's crazy, but that's hard. I don't know what's on the left, like if it's a vest or a jacket, but or if it's just open, but that looked tough. Like the colors, the silhouette, the styling, everything is just, they did right. I almost feel like we aren't even getting this at Givenchy. So I don't know. I wonder, is he his own creative director here? Whatever the case, I want to talk about these leather pants right here. In the world, I mean, right now we see a lot of distressed denim, right? Distressed leather. They look like they were kind of like bleached or something. I don't know, but that's different. There's just so much to look at, honestly. This green hoodie right here, that is crazy. And that was pretty much the collection, but I had to show you guys it because I'm like, they actually got some shit. And you know, their price points ain't too crazy. Like they're like a Armani mohair sweater, upwards of $1,000. An Alyx mohair sweater, like $400. You know what I'm saying? So I think, I don't really know. Maybe. My point is, decent pricing. A lot of other brands dropped too. Whether it be D Squared, which was so crazy. Dior dropped I think like a men's resort collection. It was crazy, but those are getting separate videos because those are that crazy. Like I can't just click through. I gotta really show you guys, so stay tuned for those. I know this video is a little long, but I gotta get into it. So there's this brand called Rolf Ecross, and I'm not going to show you that whole collection, but they have this really tough like jumpsuit. They got like this like vintage looking like box print. I don't even know what to describe it as, but it was just so tough, and I could just see myself in it walking somewhere, probably through the market or something. It's just so tough. If anybody wants to do me any favors, please buy me that. Another thing I want to talk about was this brand, and I've never heard of this brand either. It's called Adam Jones. And I really need to look through their stuff because I've never really seen a brand with like such, like, I don't know, it looked like what is his name, Terry Richardson. It looked like Terry Richardson shot this. The image, like the images, the clothes, it's just like, this is my aesthetic. So they did like these shirts, and they like sleeveless with like roses, right? But it's so rare that us brown guys get stuff that looks like it's like just something on the skin. So that was tough to me. And then like just the look at like the color blocking, super tough. And then they had like this set, and I love to play on like women's bloomers kind of being turned into like a men's short, then with like the see-through like vintage lace top over the baby blue with the black. It's just chef's kiss. Whoever styled it, crazy. I gotta look through more of that brand. Maybe we could do a brand profile on them. I do kind of want to start doing that. Finding like smaller brands that are interesting and just highlighting them on my channel. I don't really think it'll help them. It'll just help us, you know, people that's locked in. And I apologize for this video being long. I also got to give a shout out to Dapper Dan. He did a collaboration with Puma. Dapper Dan is the Dawn father, so I always try to mention him whenever I can. The collaboration, but yeah, and like I said, that was pretty much the most recent stuff. I'm gonna do the separate video for D Squared and Dior, so be sure to check that out. I really appreciate you guys that watched This Week in Fashion, because this is a very, you know, fresh start. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, or if I missed anything, please let me know below. Alright, stay untouchable. Godspeed.